ASAP.
Is she awake?
She's awake.
Is she breathing?
She's breathing. She's just traumatized. She's breathing and she's bleeding hard.
Okay, how long ago did this happen?
5 minutes ago.
Okay.
You have an ambulance dispatch?
Sir, yes. We already have them on the way. I have a couple of questions for you, okay?
All right, go ahead.
Where is the animal?
They're off in the woods. They were in the garage. There was 3 of them.
All right, is there any serious bleeding?
There's a lot of serious bleeding, yes.
Okay, is she completely alert?
She's calmed down. She's alert, yes. Yes.
What part of the body was bit?
It looks like the face.
Her face?
Yeah.
911, where's the emergency?
Oh, we're in Split Rock Reservoir on a track, and me and 2 other scouts went hiking. My scoutmaster went to a cave, and a bear is in the cave with him.
What happened?
We're in Split Rock Reservoir, and me and 2 other scouts, we went hiking. My scoutmaster went into a cave, and he says there's a bear in the cave.
Okay, and did he come out of the cave?
No, he's still in there right now.
Do you know how to communicate during an emergency situation? If you needed to call emergency services, do you know what type of information that you need to relay? Do you know how to keep cool, calm, and collective during an emergency? Stick around. You're going to learn something. Welcome back to another episode of The Last Boy Scouts Survival in Bushcraft. I'm your host, Scotty Nias, and today we're going to be discussing communications during a survival situation, specifically how to call for emergency aid if you're out stuck in the wilderness, if you're at home and there's a home invader, or any other different type of emergency where you need to call for EMS, or emergency response. The very first thing that I want to touch on in any emergency situation, as we've discussed in our survival mindset video a while back, where Reed and I sat down and we discussed all the elements of having that survival mindset, is you need to remain calm.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
Keeping calm helps you have a clear, concise mindset. It helps you make decisions. We also touched on during that video the OODA loop. The OODA loop was coined by John Boyd, who was a World War II fighter pilot who basically came up with a system of thinking and processing. Basically, observe, orient, decide, act. I encourage you to go back and check out our survival mindset video and revisit the OODA cycle and how it can help you in an emergency situation. With that being said, keeping calm. When you're calm, you are more cool and you are more collective in your thought and in your process. Now, some of you may be wondering, why am I honing in on this specific skill set? Why is it so important that Scotty wants me to know? This is a skill set that I take to heart. Working in law enforcement, this is a skill that I need to hone in order to provide clear and concise communication so that others can receive the need or the emergency aid that they have coming, myself included. Now, with that said, there are 5 things that you need to remember during an emergency situation when attempting to communicate for emergency aid. Those 5 things are who you are, where you are, what you got, what you need, and where you need it. Upon relaying all of that important information, you're going to want to maintain an open line of communication with whoever you are on the phone or your emergency ham radio or your sat phone, whatever you're utilizing to communicate. You're going to want to maintain that open line so that they know what's happening step by step as it's happening. They're going to want to know if the situation has worsened. They're going to want to know how it happened, possibly. They're going to want to keep you talking to keep you calm and keep you focused. They'll help you as you help yourself and the person you may be attempting to render aid to, yourself included. All right, scenario time. You're in the backcountry with your best friend backpacking. You're up in the high Sierras of California, just above Florence Lake on the High Sierra Trail, and you're going along those sheer granite cliffs. And your buddy happens to take a nice little slip and he falls down. Now, at this point, he appears to be unconscious, okay? What do you do? Time is of the essence. You're attempting to get down to your buddy to render emergency aid, but you know that you're not going to be able to deal with the situation by yourself. It's time to call emergency aid. How do you do it? Okay, my turn. Boop, 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 boop. 911. 911, what's your emergency? Hi, my name is Scotty Nias. I'm up on the High Sierra Trail above Florence Lake. My buddy, who I'm backpacking with, has taken a bad spill over the cliff. He appears to be unconscious and I'm trying to get to him as fast as I can. I need help. Can you please send emergency services to my location? If you have it, my GPS coordinates are, or my specific location on the trail is, and I noticed about a quarter mile back from my specific location, there was an open field where you can send an emergency life flight to help pick up my friend, if applicable. All right, that was just my little 2-cent scenario. There are so many different other ways that you can apply this formula to get you the emergency aid that you need in an emergency situation. It's also important that I point out the importance of planning. Planning is so important for any outing that you have. So that way, during an emergency situation, you have some sort of a plan in place to carry out if something were to happen. Another thing that's important apart from planning is practicing. That's why we do these videos. So that way you can learn these skills and then apply them through practice before you have to use them, or God forbid you ever have to use them in reality and actuality. Remember, practice prevents piss poor performance. Now, this is best case scenario. I realize in a lot of wilderness areas, you may not have cell phone reception. You may not have a sat phone or communication device to make or relay this type of information, in which case you're going to have to rely on or switch to another way of contacting emergency aid. This specific video specifically deals with how to communicate if you have the ability to do so. All right? So with that said, before I kick you loose, I want to talk about the next video that I have planned. My father allowed me to go pick up a few of the items that I've been missing from my backpacking and hiking and scouting days when I was a kid. I was able to go through some of that old equipment and I found this gem right here. Now this is a first aid kit from the Vietnam War. I plan on doing a open and reveal of everything that's in this kit just to kind of show you what they had available to them as your average typical GI. Very excited to go through this. I have a few other camping items that I can't wait to showcase in a future video, but for that, I want to get out in the wilderness. All right, so stay tuned. And as always, stay safe, stay vigilant. Knowledge is your weapon. Be prepared. And if I don't see you again before then, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. See you next time. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Last Boy Scouts. If you like what you see, hit that like button. Please subscribe and stay tuned for more from the Last Boy Scouts Survival in Bushcraft.